welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am still in my hair and makeup and shirt from my photo shoot earlier this morning, and this is the second video I filmed with this look, so if you recognize it, that's why, because I'm not trying to pretend that this is a new day or anything like that. But I posted something on my Instagram today about wanting someone to take me on a date. I was like, I haven't been on a date in over 5 months. Someone please take me out this week. Like, I need some romantic lovin'. I've been single for so long. I've been giving myself all the love I need, and I just need to be held. And I need to be, I don't know. I just feel like I want that exciting connection, that exciting, like, putting myself out there again, which I haven't done in so long. It's been like half a year. And here's the thing. I love the idea of love, of romantic love, but in reality, relationships make me crazy. I got a bunch of DMs that was like, why are you single? Like, how is a baddie like you single? Or how is a fun something like you single? I don't know. They were funny. I laughed. But then I was just thinking, like, what if I replied to this person and literally said all the reasons why I'm single? And that's what I'm going to do in this video. Like, I'm very balanced and excited and full of love most of the time, besides like when I'm feeling very depressed or whatever. But when I'm in a relationship, it just throws me so off balance, because it's like I'm so independent as a Scorpio, and just as the kind of person that I am, I'm very independent, and I have a hard time trusting people and letting someone else be a part of my formula for life, I guess. And either I will completely put all of my trust and love into someone and I'll be disappointed over and over again because I expect too much of someone, or I'll just be way too hesitant to even let them in and give them a chance. And with my last boyfriend, I had so many expectations, and I guess that I did have kind of an idea of how I thought a boyfriend should act, and I was like, no, you're supposed to, like, compliment me, you're supposed to call me beautiful, like, you're supposed to comment on my Instagram pictures, and I would just have all these random things that I would get annoyed about. I was like, dude, like, you used to comment on all my pictures, and then we started dating, you just don't even like my pictures, and you like all these other girls' pictures, and it was just so, like, disgusting, and I started to hate myself. I was like, ew, why am I this girl now? And that was like a very small-minded, very egoic time in my life. And now, even when I think about being in a relationship, I kind of know how to communicate better with the opposite sex or whoever I'm trying to have relations with. I have anxious tendencies, like sometimes I struggle with depression, and I could definitely communicate that well and just communicate my needs in a relationship, which I think is very important, because everyone needs to be loved differently, and you have to teach people how to love you and cherish you. There's a poem by Rupi Kaur, I totally forget what it's called, but like basically she was saying, it was a poem to like, I'm gonna find it. Actually, no, I'm not. It's really hard to find certain poems in that book because they're all amazing. But basically, it was saying, like, she taught her boo how to love her. Like, how dare she think that no one else would love her like he did when she's the one who taught him how to love her. Like, I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry, I need to find this poem. Also, I hope you guys are here for this video. I know that not everyone likes my long-winded talking videos. People want to see my fashion stuff, which I was going to film today, but I don't know if you guys are getting tired of me filming fashion videos in my room, so I'm not going to do that. The next one I film, I definitely want it to be outside in the city, because those are really fun. And by the way, speaking about jealousy on social media, that's another thing that I think is really dumb. But I also fall into that trap very easily. I am a very jealous person, and maybe I'm just still very insecure. So when I'm with someone and they're liking like 10 pictures of girls in bikinis, it just makes me feel like, why are you looking at that girl? Like, why are you liking all of her pictures? Like, you like every single one of her pictures. And it's such a insane thing, because like I post pictures where my body is just portrayed as art and it's captured for its beauty, not just for like to show off my body. It's just captured because it's very empowering, and I felt so good in that. And I don't see myself as a sexual object, but when I'm with someone who I like and they're liking other girls who are like posting nudes on Instagram, I sexualize them through the guy's eyes because I think that he's sexualizing them, which is so wrong. And I don't know, I haven't been in a relationship for so long, but I did realize that I did that, and I was like, wait, why am I sexualizing these women? Like, why should I be jealous that he's liking these photos when these photos aren't even about their bodies? Just because it shows their bodies? I don't know. I might do a whole video about nudes on Instagram and my thoughts on that, but yeah, it's just a bizarre thing. Now, looking back on my relationship, I can just be so much more mindful of how I acted and why I may have acted that way and what might have changed things, because I know a lot of guys just like photos on Instagram and it's not a big deal. But I also know a lot of girls who are like, that's wrong, he shouldn't like every single one of a girl's pictures and like be commenting on them. So let me know your thoughts down below. It's kind of, it just depends what relationship you're in and if you can trust that person. I think trust is the biggest factor on whether or not, you know, you'll react a certain way to him doing that stuff, or her, or the said person, non-binary. Okay, here's the poem. I found it. What I miss most is how you loved me, but what I didn't know was how you loved me had so much to do with the person I was. It was a reflection of everything I gave to you, coming back to me. How did I not see that? How did I sit there soaking in the idea that no one else would love me that way, when it was I that taught you? When it was I that showed you how to fill, the way I needed to be filled. How cruel I was to myself, giving you credit for my warmth simply because you had felt it. Thinking it was you who gave me strength, wit, beauty, simply because you recognized it. As if I was already not these things before I met you. As if I did not remain all these things once you left. This poem hit me so hard after my breakup because it was the only relationship that I'd been in. It was a really fun time. I was so deeply in love, and when it ended, I just felt like no one will ever understand me as much as this person will, because I was with him for so long. Like, how can anyone get to know me this way, or get to know how to treat me, or like what triggers me, or what I truly love? And then I just realized, like, it took me so long to get to that point with my ex. Like, it took years of trying to get this person to understand, and it just gave me so much hope. And I was like, yeah, your relationship is like a manifestation that you build with someone else, and it's just lived out, you know? Where was I? Oh yeah, so basically relationships make me crazy. I don't know what it is about romantic love, and it probably does have a lot to do with the fact that I'm still very self-conscious, especially around men, because I just feel like so much of my life I felt smaller than them, and it's a result of like my past experiences. I'm projecting my fears onto the present moment, where guys have told me I was like nothing to them, or I was worthless, or when guys were just assholes to me, and I just totally projecting the past into the present, and I feel less confident and insecure. I feel less confident and insecure, and I am not chill. Like, I have no chill, I feel like. But I don't know, I haven't been in a relationship in a really long time, but I just feel like I'd have no chill because I instantly am like afraid of being hurt. So I'm like, well, what are we? Like, I'm that bitch after like a month that we're dating. I'm like, what? I guess that's kind of normal. Okay, a month of like dating someone to ask like to define their relationship a little bit, I guess that's kind of normal. Okay. Thinking about it, maybe I'm not that crazy, but the idea of dating or being in a relationship, I just completely like tense up, and I'm just like, oh, the person that I become when I'm in a relationship, it's just so hard to stay conscious. Maybe it's because I'm sensitive as well, because I weigh in the other person's emotions so much, and I want to make sure that they're feeling okay too, and I overthink everything because I'm thinking about how I feel, but then I'm also being mindful of how they feel and what they want and how they see me. And it's just adding this whole other weight into my world where I'm just like thinking about what he's thinking. And that's something that I have broken the pattern of doing for a while. Like, how to be confident is just to like not give a fuck about what everyone else thinks about you. So you kind of block out the haters, you kind of don't think about what other people think about you. You only see yourself through your own eyes, which is so important, and I've managed to do that. But when I'm in a relationship, I automatically begin to think of what that person thinks of me, which is just damaging, I think, when you kind of go overboard with that, you know? Love is definitely just swallows you whole because you just can't stop thinking about this person and you're wondering if they're thinking of you too. And for me, feelings hit me so hard, and that's probably why I'm always like worried, because I'm afraid the other person won't feel the same way about me as quickly. Like, I'll just be like, oh my god, I really like this guy, and I can't, my mind like likes to think about him. I don't know what to do, and is he feeling the same way? I just feel love so strongly, and I will do anything for the person I love, and I can't wait. I can't wait to just pour my love into someone. And like I said, it's been half a year basically since I've been on a date or like put myself out there to flirt with anyone. I mean, I guess I flirted with like a few boys when I was in Spain, but I'm also celibate, so yeah, this one guy hit me up who was obviously trying to get my pants, and he was like, let's do yoga in the backyard, or like, let's like go get vegan ice cream or whatever. And I was like, I'm with my sister right now, but rain check or something like that. And then I was like, by the way, I'm abstaining from sex, so just to save your time if that's all you're looking for. Doesn't text me back. 2 weeks later, he texts me, oh, I love a good Christian girl. Like, that's so Christian of you. And I was like, this motherfucker, like, he knows that I'm not Christian. He knows my spiritual beliefs, and to completely ignore me and not even pretend to be a good person who was actually trying to get to know me, but he just texts me 2 weeks later like, oh, you're such a good Christian girl. So gross. But anyways, that also complicates things. So I guess update on that. That's the definition of how my celibacy has been going. And I also haven't been putting myself out there anyway, so I feel like I could just meet some cool guys who would actually want to get to know me. But I'm just like afraid of who I become in relationships because I fall in love so hard, and I like become obsessive. Like, I use the other person and my love for the other person as a distraction. And this is me. I actually feel kind of vulnerable about putting this out there because it's like embarrassing, and I feel so collected and independent and poppin' and good and confident when I'm on my own. But instantly when I enter a relationship, I automatically second guess myself, and I'm like, oh my god, what do you think of me? And I also haven't dated in a really long time, so it's like hard to say if I would actually still be like that. I'm only talking about my past experiences, my most recent experience, but I just think that people are so much better than me automatically. Like, I've met really cool people, and I begin to realize that I just think that everyone is better than me. Like, especially men. Like, when I meet a successful dude who's like doing something cool, like if he's an artist or a designer or whatever, I'm just like, oh my god, this person's so cool. Like, I'm just this little like teeny person, and they're doing amazing things, and they must think that I'm so dumb or unintelligent. Like, I automatically like lower my value because I think that they're better than me. And because of that, I just get so scared to like express my emotions. I'm like, okay, I feel this way about someone, or I just idolize people so easily. Even if like I see their flaws, when I really like someone, I become obsessed with their flaws. Like, I become obsessed with the way that they annoy me, or obsessed with the things that they don't do good enough, or like obsessed with any fault that they think that they have. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute. Like, I love you even more because of that, which I think is a good thing, you know, to like love someone even more for their flaws. But for me, it's like I put someone on a pedestal to the point where like they can't do anything wrong and everything is on me. If anything goes wrong, it's like my fault, or I don't know. Like, I literally just, I pour my heart out, and I just need someone who's ready to handle all of what I am. And I can't even begin to express how intense I am in relationships. And it's not necessarily like negative, but I just fall in love so hard, and I love so hard, and I will write poems for you like all the time, and I I just want the other person to know how much I care about them and think about them, and I want the other person to feel comfortable, and I also want to know that they're like thinking about me and care for me too. And I had to beg him to call me beautiful. Basically, I'd be like, why don't you ever, like 3 months into our relationship, I was like, why don't you ever call me beautiful? Or like, why don't you ever compliment me? Like, you never say anything nice to me. And he was like, you're beautiful. And I was like, well, don't say it now that I asked you to say it. Like, it was just weird. And it's not his fault. I know some people in relationships just don't know how to, like, he didn't know how I needed to be loved, okay? But I think it's pretty normal to, like, for your boyfriend to compliment you or say that you look good. His excuse was that he was like, oh, you're just so pretty that I just couldn't, I, like, forgot to say it. I was just thinking it, but I didn't say it. And I was like, does that make sense? But anyways, where was I going? This is such a long-winded video. I just want to say I'm single because not many men can handle all this. Or maybe I'm just afraid. It's just me. I'm just afraid. I also get like annoyed when guys fall for me so quickly when I haven't even gotten to know them really. The one time I got annoyed at a guy for liking me too much, for falling too hard in love with me, was when he was like disrespecting me so much and calling that love. Like, he would just push my boundaries or make me uncomfortable, and then he would be like, oh, we're like so in love right now. And I was like, no, we're not. Like, I actually kind of resent you for making me do stuff that I'm uncomfortable with. And then I stopped talking to him. Like, that was like the only time I can really think of where I genuinely ghosted someone, because there was just so much built up like pressure and just resentment and like words that I couldn't say. So then I just had to block them when they were like, oh, like, I'm so in love with you. And I was like, really? Because I'm pretty sure you're like forcing me to do things and making me uncomfortable. Only time, I swear. This is such a random video, but I've just been realizing how much I need to work on my confidence and believing in myself, because it is such a problem still, and I didn't realize how much of a problem it was. I just tend to shrivel up and like shrink in front of people that I think are important, and then I just can't become myself. Or if I'm in a group setting with people who are all best friends and have known each other forever, I just immediately feel like I don't fit in and like they don't like me, or like I don't belong, because I don't think I've ever really had that, just a group of friends that I'm really close with, that we can just actually like fuck around with each other and have a bunch of jokes and are laughing the whole time. Like, even in my friendships, I still feel insecure and I still feel like I'm not like cool enough or worthy enough. And so when I'm in these other groups with new people who I've met and they're all getting along and have inside jokes and like all this shit, I just feel like I get so intimidated by that like cliquey friendship that I'm not a part of. Even if they're like all nice and they're joking around about stuff that's genuinely funny and I understand, I talked about this in a previous video, but I just feel like everyone can see my baggage of like never fitting in my whole life and never being a cool person. My idea of myself is so different from what you guys say to me. Like, you guys say such nice things and say that I'm beautiful even, and I can't believe it. I literally convince myself they are talking about someone else. Like, I don't know what it is, because when I think about it, I'm like, oh, no one likes me, or like everyone online hates me. Like, in my head, I just feel like everyone dislikes me online for some reason, just because of the few hate comments I get. I just feel like everyone thinks that I'm unintelligent or ignorant, when there's literally so many comments saying, oh, you're so well spoken, or you're so intelligent, or like you're so beautiful. And I just have this disconnect where I'm just like, they're literally not talking about me, and I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like it's true, and I don't know what it would feel like to actually allow myself to believe the comments that I read. Like, I don't know what it would feel like to truly just look in the mirror and call myself beautiful and believe it. Because I've tried to do that in the past, but then I automatically feel like conceited, which I shouldn't feel. So, I don't know. I think that it's good to be conceited, honestly. Like, I think it's good to just love yourself and worship yourself. And I hear people talking shit about other people who like are so into themselves, and I'm just like, dude, they love themselves, and that's a really hard thing to do in this day and age. So I will never talk down about anyone who's feeling themselves. I don't think you can feel yourself too much. You should be obsessed with yourself and in love with yourself, as long as you're not like harming people and letting it take over your life to the point that you're not helping anyone else in this world. Personally, like, that's what I think. Like, be so over the top in love with yourself, but still, like, I don't know, give back or be productive in society in some way besides just the beautiful selfies that you take, okay, girl? But yeah, man, I really wanted to open up with you guys about this because it's just something that I really struggle with, especially being on the internet. I get, like, scared to post because I literally think that you guys don't like me or are angry at me for not posting or for having a late video. Like, I'm always so anxious about it, and it doesn't make sense because you guys are so nice, and if you knew how much anxiety I got, you wouldn't make me feel pressured at all. Someone was like, shout out to you who wrote this comment, was like, oh, you have the perfect nose. And I was like, thanks, I've always been self-conscious about it. And this other girl was like, oh my god, shut up, you're beautiful, like, stop being so insecure, or something like that. And I was like, I'm working on it. She was, like, roasting me for being insecure, and I kind of thought that was funny because, like, yeah, what the fuck, why am I so insecure? Like, why am I letting the past and my past experiences rule how I feel about myself now? And it's not even, like, I'm thinking of the instances where someone, like, said I was ugly or said I was fat or something, but it's just, like, my habits to, like, certain things. Like, my habits in social situations because I'm used to people, like, I'm just used to not being, like, the cool one or people being fake towards me. But it's not something that I think about. I don't think about, oh my god, like, this one time this girl, Michelle, just talked shit about me when she was my friend. Like, no, I'm not thinking about it. It's just a natural, like, fear or something that's very subconscious that just sets in. And it's like an anxiety. Like, when I hung out with these people, this group of people, and they were all friends, they were, like, fucking around with each other and laughing, and I just became not myself. Like, I just couldn't. It's just a subconscious, like, anxiety thing that sets in, which I'm sure you guys can relate. I'm playing with my crystals right now. Selenite stick. Cleanse the energy. Yeah, when I feel like I don't fit in somewhere, I become very ingenuine and very not myself because I'm trying to fit in and I'm trying to be like everyone else, and it's just not good. And maybe that's why I just stay away from people, because I just don't feel good enough for anyone. Like, I don't feel good enough for YouTube, I don't feel good enough for myself, and I don't feel good enough for other people. I'm always like, thank you so much for hanging out with me, or just thanks for, like, spending time with me. Like, seriously, thanks for getting me out of the house. I'm always so grateful to anyone who wants to hang out with me, but I also just feel like not good enough. I don't know. It's really weird, but I've been realizing this and I need to work on it. I don't know how else to work on it except for to keep living my life and keep putting myself out there and keep moving forward. And I gotta be honest, I haven't been doing my best lately. I have been very sad, like, not okay sad, like, researching hospitals nearby sad. And they all have really shitty reviews, so I was like, okay, can't go back to the hospital, even though I was feeling very unsafe for, like, weeks at a time, and I hurt myself again for the first time in, like, a year, which was really scary. But I was like, I can't go back to the hospital. Like, I'm about to start school, and that will make me really happy, and going outside makes me really happy. It's sunny. I don't want to be trapped in a hospital staring outside of a window wishing I could go for a walk, you know, the little pleasures in life. And so I was like, well, I can't go to the hospital, but I also can't be alone, and I need someone to talk to who will just listen to me. And that problem still is not solved, so maybe that's why I'm pouring my heart out to a camera right now. But yeah, I basically told some of my friends, like, hey, can you just text me once a week at least and make sure that I'm doing okay and make sure that I'm, like, alive and stable? Like, can you just check in on me? I know this is a weird thing to ask, but yeah, I pretty much let people know to, like, check in on me because I can be very antisocial and very not answering my texts and very turning off my phone and not checking it for 5 days in a row. So yeah, I have to, like, make sure people come to my house and just make sure that, like, I'm eating food and that I'm still there. So I know it's, like, it sounds scary. It is scary, but that's just my reality, and I just feel like there's nothing I can do except for move forward and keep trying and take each day as it comes. Today was a good day. I had some, anxiety. My therapist is like always telling me to be angry about my mistreatment as a child. And I'm literally like, I don't like to be mad at people. I don't like to be angry at people, but she's always like, no, you deserve to be angry. Anger is not a bad emotion. It's another emotion, and you deserve to feel it towards other people if they didn't treat you right. And she said that all the anger that I have towards other people, I put into myself. So if anyone else does something wrong, I automatically think that it's me doing something wrong, and I can't express anger, which is pretty true. Like, I don't know how to be mean to people, really. I don't know how to, like, even stand up for myself half the time. So I can't be mad at people. I can't express anger. I don't know how to do that except for on myself. I'm so hard on myself. But anyways, my sister's really good at seeing the silver lining to, like, the shitty things that happen in our lives, especially growing up, and it's just really hard for me too, because it just had a really big impact on me. I know that we've all heard, like, oh, we don't have money for that, or like, yeah, we can't afford that, or I just remember this one time that makes me so sad, is that this one time my mom took me and my two siblings out to get groceries, and we had this huge grocery list, and my brother had got this cookbook that was full of really fun recipes. He always used to cook for us. He wanted to be a chef. And my mom let us get anything that we wanted. And when that was like the first time that ever happened, where we could go to the grocery store and just get whatever we wanted. And so our cart was so full of groceries, and we paid, I'm getting so emotional, I don't mean to, but it was just amazing, like, just being able to go and get whatever food that I wanted, and the cart was full. Like, I think we spent like $300 on groceries, which is like absurd. And we were driving home, and she was like, oh shit. She instantly got so stressed, and she was like holding her head, and she was like, I forgot we had to pay that bill. And she contemplated going back to the store and returning everything, but she didn't. And I felt so bad. I felt the weight of that. I felt like it was my fault that we had spent all this money on groceries, and she had other shit to pay for. She had like some bill to pay for that she forgot to, and that's why we had extra money that month. And she was like, that's where this money came from. Like, I forgot to pay this bill. And I was like, I don't know, it just really hurt, because I don't think my other siblings, like, noticed or probably even remember. I don't know why I remember that, but it was just really hard for me to ask for, like, certain things I needed, like even socks or underwear or clothes, because I didn't want to be a burden at all, financially or any other way. And that just still happens. And, like, that habit of, like, not being able to ask for what I need because I'm afraid or because I don't want it to be too much for someone has just filtered into every part of my life. Like, even relationships, and, like, I hate asking anyone for money, even if it's like someone is buying me lunch. Like, I just feel so bad, and I don't want to burden or inconvenience anyone in any way possible, and it just really hurts me. And yeah, I don't even know where that story began. I guess, like, yeah, my childhood was just weird. It was just ratchet. I was talking about it with the guy who was doing my hair, my family friend, basically, and all these images just flashed in my head of, like, fishing. I used to, like, fish in puddles of water, and I would pretend that the leaves were fish, and I would use a stick as a fishing pole, and I would, like, people would walk by, my neighbors or my siblings, and they'd be like, Hitomi, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I'm fishing. Like, I would just pretend that I was fishing with leaves in a little pond, and not in a pond. See, I still think it's a pond. It was like a little puddle. And I remember I would talk to plants, and I would climb this one tree in my front yard all the time, and I would read my book, and I would just talk to, like, all these not human being things around me. Like, I would talk to my toys, I would talk to rocks, and I would talk to plants all the time, which I think is fine, you know, young kids do that all the time. I had this fake horse that I bounced on all the time. I'm obsessed. I love horses so much, and I promised I would never whip or hurt a horse because I was so obsessed with that little horse. But I also would just, like, sit in my attic for hours, and I don't know, just images flashed in my head of being alone a lot of the time. And both my parents worked all the time. My dad worked, he would commute 5 hours a day to go to his job, and then by the time he got home, we were already asleep, and then by the time we woke up, he was already gone. And my mom worked nights, and during the day we were in school, so we didn't really see a lot of them for a few years, and we had Spanish babysitters who didn't speak English, so I guess we knew how to communicate with them, but they were very, like, as long as you don't burn the house down, I'll cook you some food, just don't, you know, get arrested. That was basically, like, the parental unit that we had. And that's why a lot of you guys ask, like, didn't your parents, like, care about you smoking weed or partying? And it was like, I mean, they weren't really, like, there weren't really any rules, and so no. But I feel like I never got that talk where it was like, you know, you can do anything that a man can do, which I learned myself. And my mom is awesome. She was a really good role model for me and showing me that, like, anything a guy can do, a girl can do, and those things aren't gender separated. Because she was always, like, building furniture, lifting heavy shit. She was always, like, doing, like, man's work, basically, and being just a tough-ass, strong-ass, independent woman. My mom is so independent. I just never had, like, any kind of talk about love or about sex. I never had a sex talk. I never had a drug talk besides don't do those drugs. And I just, it took me a while to even, like, formulate this sentence or idea in my head that I didn't need a guy's validation or that I was beautiful. Like, it took me so long to, like, even think of that and associate that with me. Like, the word beautiful and hitomi, like, that I never saw that going together. And I don't know, it just made me very self-conscious from a young age, just not being aware of my value on this life, on this earth. Like, I just didn't know, and I was always afraid of making someone spend money on me or, like, making someone angry or upset, and I just wanted to always stay out of everyone's way and not get involved in arguments. And it just really made me such a small person, and it really has made me undervalue myself in every facet of life, including, like, even doing this. I think that you guys really made me realize this, which is a good thing. You guys are just like, you know, you should try and see yourself how we see you, or you just really have to stop being self-conscious because you're so beautiful. And I just see myself and I'm like, why do I not like myself? Or why do I put myself or weigh myself on such a low standard? And then I, like, go back and think, like, oh, it's, like, all this stuff, and that's all in the past. And I was in bed last night and I haven't been sleeping well lately, and I was just thinking, the past does not exist. Like, I know all the answers to my problems, but it's just whether I'm ready or not to, like, accept them. I know that the past doesn't exist, and right now is the only moment that exists. And I look around at all the abundance and all the gifts in my life now, and, like, all the fucking cool people that I meet now, and I'm ruining it because I don't think that I'm good enough. I'm telling myself that I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not cool enough. And I'm like, dude, just because people bullied you or something doesn't define your value on this earth today. Like, what the hell? It's, like, just so wild that my conditioning and that my habits are still being ruled by, like, someone or a series of events of people telling me that I wasn't enough, or feeling that, or always telling myself that my whole life. And it's just like, your life is, like, happening right now, and you're letting it slip away, or you're not getting the most out of it because you're just so afraid, you know? There are random glimpses of time, random moments where I truly feel, like, enough, and I truly feel so whole and pure, but then I stop feeling that way because I'm afraid it'll be too much for someone. Like, it'll be, like, a day where I'm just like, yeah, I'm beautiful, like, yeah, I'm confident, like, yeah, people like me on the internet, it's really cool. I just don't want people to misperceive me because that's so not me. But also, being hard on yourself and hating yourself isn't you being humble. Like, being humble is one thing, but not liking yourself in order to make other people feel comfortable is not good. That's a completely different thing, and I need to work on that, you know. It's so much easier said than done, and it is a journey, and it takes time and practice, and it's the only thing really worth putting energy in is, like, trying to love yourself and accept yourself. And I've had such amazing moments and I've had months where I do feel good about myself. I don't really like identify myself a lot of the time in any way. I don't think there's a need for labels or whatever, but I've definitely had months where I just felt good about myself, where being self-conscious wasn't a thing. But only in the past few weeks has it been very prominent, and I think it has to do maybe with like one of the people I've been hanging out with. One of the people, is that correct? Is that grammatically correct? One of the people? I feel better now. Do you guys feel better? This was such a long-winded video. But, thank you for supporting me. I don't know why I just build up this idea in my head that you don't like me. Like, when I think about YouTube, I just think about everyone who doesn't like me because I haven't posted. But you're so understanding, and you're just like me, and there's no tendency or, like, habit that one person has that no other human on planet Earth has. There's, like, over 7 billion people on this planet, and if I feel some way, I know someone else feels that way, and I know that so many other people can relate to me, and that alone should make me feel okay in being who I am. Just knowing that so many other people are the exact same way, and yeah, let me just be honest about everything. And being honest helps so much. When I'm in relationships, friendships, whatever, I just like put everything out there on the table. I will genuinely share how I'm feeling most of the time, and it's really good. It's really helpful, and I love that about myself, that I can do that and that I can post these videos on YouTube where I'm just being completely honest. Honesty just really helps. Being honest with yourself about who you are and where you are, and that's why I'm posting this, because I do feel very flawed as a human being. I feel like there's just a lot of stuff that I've been conditioned to do, or that I have been doing my whole life, that I have to break free from. And I just wanted to share that because I am at a point where I'm being honest about it. Like, no, I don't really like myself that much, and I need to be better at liking myself. And I'm just sharing that because it's the truth, and that's where I'm at right now. And that's why it's been hard to film. That's why I've been slacking on the videos lately, because I just am repulsed by my face and I don't even want to see myself when I edit. But it's, you know, we're all on a different journey, and I just kind of wanted to make you guys understand, yeah, living my life has really been helping, because I'm like, okay, look at all this shit you did. Like, you're a capable human being, and this human existence is a gift, because look how much you can do and feel, and being in a human body, although it can be very hard, and living in this society can be very testing, you have the opportunity to do so much and feel so much, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to, like, live this human life, and holy fuck, I don't want to let that slip through my fingers, and that's why I really want to work on myself, and that's why I just want to keep on living my life, and keep on taking this moment as it is, and try. You know, the most I can do is just try to be kinder to myself and love myself, and it's just a lot of stuff from the past that I may not really think about quite often, but it's just a physical response and habit, and I'm working on breaking that just by being more conscious and about realizing that this moment is real and it's the only thing, and not to project those fears and insecurities onto right now, because this moment is truly perfect, and I feel so blessed. And thank you guys. Thank you for listening to me. If you made it to the end of this video, please let me know. What should you guys comment down below? Comment "I'm a crybaby" down below if you made it to the end of this video, because I would really love to know. I'm a crybaby. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been wanting to get this off my chest for a while, because every time I read comments that are super nice, it's like hard, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, I don't know, but thank you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.